Yo guys, welcome back. So yeah, it's kind of late. Well, it's not late, but it's already 9 p.m., 9:12 p.m. So yeah, it's just evening and yeah, I found a good time to make this video just because my parents are not home right now, so I have the house to myself. But yeah, I don't really make videos like in the evening in my room much unless if I'm driving, so it's kind of a different experience for me. But yeah, guys, so I've been honestly waiting a really long time to make this video. I've already kind of been looking forward to making this video, even back when it was August still. But yeah, so I can finally actually make this video. Now, you guys might be saying like, it's a bit too early to maybe make a video reviewing 2025 because like this year is not over yet. You should have made this video in December or whatever. But honestly, it doesn't really matter because this year is almost over anyways. I mean, we're already on the 11th month of the year, so it's not like it even really matters. And I have a tradition every single year. I make a review of each year. And last year when I reviewed 2024, I made the video also in November. And then when I made a video reviewing 2023, I believe it was also in November. But 2022 year review, I made that in December. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're almost done this year anyway. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I guess I could have made this video maybe later, like late November, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, so I've been basically reviewing each year ever since 2022. I never made a video reviewing 2020, only like a separate video where I talked about the year. But yeah, 2021, I never made a review video that year. So I only started to review each year starting from 2022. So yeah, December 2022, I made a video talking about, the year. And then 2023, I made a year review. 2024, I made a year review. So yeah, now I'm making a 2025 year review. Now, I just want to say, guys, like before I talk about 2025, I want to recap what I think of each year in the 2020s. And I know like some of you guys might not like that. You might say like, "Oh, just why can't you just talk about 2025? Why are you going to make a long video reviewing each year?" And that's just something I want to do. So, yeah, this is just a disclaimer because I know I get some haters sometimes that like they get annoyed that I'm just like talking. I don't get to the point, like, oh, just get to the point. No, this is a disclaimer that I'm not just making this video to review only 2025. I want to talk about every previous year that's in the 2020s to recap because it's important for me because I want to compare each year. So if you don't like that, just don't watch the video. This is my warning to you, people who like get mad and say like, "Oh, why are you like, making this video and not getting straight to the point?" Yeah, this is again a disclaimer that I'm not just going to talk about 2025. I will, but before I do, I want to recap the previous years. So yeah, again, so if you don't like that, just don't watch the video cuz yeah. But anyway, so yeah, cuz I want to compare each year. And but yeah, so 2025, honestly, this year fucking sucked. This year was not good at all. I hate this year. I don't know. It's kind of sad that the past couple of years have been pretty bad lately. Like 2023 was just a really terrible year. 2024 was also a really bad year. And this year is also not that good. It's a pretty bad year as well for me. But then 2020, 2021, and 2022 were all really good years for me. So it's really weird how the 2020s decade, the first 3 years of this decade were really good for me. But then after that, the past 3 years have been really bad for me. So yeah. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. I don't know, but let me just start off. So okay, I'm gonna recap every year and just what I think of each year. So let's start with 2020. So 2020 was now 5 years ago, and all I have to say about 2020 is that it was probably like the best year I've ever had in my life. I'm not even kidding. 2020 was literally like one of the best years that I've ever had in my life. Hold on a sec. So basically, when it was 2020, I was really young that year. I was really young. I was only 19 years old. And when it was 2020, what made the year really good for me? Well, I have many reasons, is because I just I like how I was still 19, because when I was 19, I felt really young, and that's amazing. I love the feeling of, feeling like you're young, and I didn't feel old, and life in general was much more easier back when it was 2020, because when it was 2020, like, you know, I don't know, like life was just so much easier for me. Like I finished high school. Well, I finished high school in 2019, but I was just like fresh out of high school almost, like recently I left, like not even a year ago. So in 2020 I was in college, and yeah, life was just much more easier. I kind of felt like I wasn't really expected to do too much back then. I didn't have to embrace the adult life. I mean, I did try to get a job in 2020, but the pandemic made it really difficult, and I was just focused on finishing college. So yeah, 2020 was just awesome. Life was just so much easier for me. The year was just nothing but positivity. I know we had a pandemic, but the pandemic did not ruin my year. Me, just in general, I had a really good year. So 2020 was just like amazing. Like the year was just nothing but positivity for me. The most funnest times of my life, the best memories I made. And the year was just like super chill, and nothing ever bad happened to me. And I'm not saying 2020 was just like entirely a year where I didn't have a single bad day. Sure, I might have had a bad day, but it's like the year was just really good. So January 2020 was really good. Same with February. I remember quite a lot what I did. It was really cold outside. It was winter. I went to college. Then that's when I learned we are having a pandemic, or like, at least the virus started. Um, I went on so many amazing fun walks. I didn't have a car back then, but I remember taking the train, going to the most random places like up north, taking walks. That was so fun. Going to downtown when it was like really cold. That was also fun. So 2020 was just super chill. March was honestly really good. March of 2020, because when we had the pandemic, I remember like, classes were switched to online, and I would take walks at night when it was winter. I don't know, it's just something about those walks made me feel really good. And even just spending time with my family, because the pandemic made people stay home, right? So like it was nice being with my family at times. I kind of feel like I bonded a lot with them. Even the Oh yeah, like March also of 2020 was really good, because even though fast food restaurants were closed, I remember me and my friend went to the convenience store. We got so much really good food, so that was amazing. And then the spring of 2020 was really good too. We had so much rain, like April and May. I had such fun bike rides. It was so relaxing. I didn't like, even though we had a pandemic, I would still sometimes like have a lot of fun. The bike rides I had were just amazing. And I'm sorry, was there anything else I did? Oh yeah, like I would order pizza. I would take like I would go on bike rides in the rain. That was just amazing. And then let's talk about the summer of 2020. The best summer ever. I loved the summer of 2020. Sure, it was hot and humid. I hated that. But at least when it was like the summer of 2020, I just did so much fun things. Like I loved when I went to Vancouver and Victoria. That was amazing. And then I went hiking up a really massive mountain. That was so much fun. I loved that. Even August of 2020 was amazing. I really got into horror games. I started playing a lot of horror games. I also went to like this really fun camping trip. Um, and then I remember getting like a freezing cold Pepsi slushy on my way there. That was awesome. And then going to this one food garden outside and getting a bunch of vegetables. That was also fun. The summer of 2020 was just so amazing. I loved it. Let's talk about the fall of 2020. The fall of 2020 was just absolutely amazing. One of the probably the best time of the whole year. I loved the fall of 2020. I remember like yeah, classes were still online. It was raining. I went on so much awesome bike rides. I would even go out to bars with friends a couple of times. That was so much fun. Getting drunk was amazing. And what else did I do? Yeah, around October 2020 was just so much fun. Oh my goodness, one of the most funnest moments and memories of my life. The fun bike rides, the hangouts, the funny memories, everything about 2020 was amazing. And even Halloween of 2020 was really good because I got like, I went to Circle K, I got so much good snacks and an energy drink, and there's just so much good things happened to me in 2020. November 2020 was pretty good. That's when I turned 20 years old, and I still felt pretty young. And then December was pretty chill. I just played horror games, went outside on walks. It was a freezing cold winter. But yeah, so the point is 2020 was just such an amazing year. One of the best years I've had in my life. And I'm not even kidding. It was just such an amazing year. All right, so let's talk about 2021. 2021 was honestly a really good year. It was a really, really good year. Maybe it wasn't as good as 2020, but it was still a good year. I only kind of didn't like the beginning of 2021, like maybe like February a little bit, just because I had a really toxic group mate that, for like my college classes, right? And she was just like really toxic. This one girl that I worked with, she was just like complete trash. I'm sorry, but she was just really mean. But yeah, so March of 2021 was really good. I had a lot of fun memories. Just also getting snacks and everything and hanging out with friends. April was really good of 2021. So classes were still online, and during that time period, yeah, I just had a lot of fun. I loved that hike I went on, and when I went bike riding through like an entire forest, that was also a fun memory that I had. And then what else happened in 2021? Yeah, I went like to a cool resort. So that was kind of fun. May 2021 was also fun because I remember taking a walk in downtown in the rain. I was just about to finish college, like the semester at least. And I had to also get my COVID vaccine and stuff like that. So yeah, that was like a pretty interesting time for me. I just loved the memories I had and everything. Sorry, I'm just on my tablet right now. Just checking my tablet. If the update finished. Yeah. But yeah, so what else is there for me to talk about? So the summer of 2021 was absolutely amazing. Once again, I visited Vancouver, Victoria, and then the summer of 2021 was just absolutely amazing. I just really missed the summer. So much fun things happened for me. Like just hanging out with friends was really fun. We had a very rainy summer of 2021. That was absolutely amazing. So yeah, 2021 was just such a good year for me. I remember going on a far bike ride. And yeah, it was just fun. Really fun. I don't know what else to say. August of 2021 was also pretty fun. I kept making myself go on like 3-hour bike rides across the forest. That was fun. So let's talk about the fall. So September 2021 was like, honestly, it It was good and bad. The bad thing is that my cat died. I had a cat who was like 10 years old, and she had unfortunately passed away, so that was really sad. Not even passed away, she got killed by a dog. So that was really sad. But before her death, the month was pretty good. I actually returned to college in person because, we didn't have those like restrictions for COVID. So then the fall of 2021, like the remainder of the year was not bad. It was actually kind of good. I continued going on my really long bike rides across the forest a couple of times until like November or December. December 2021 was mostly really good. The only bad thing that happened to me was that my teacher accused me of plagiarism, and I almost got in quite a lot of trouble for that. But then the rest of the year was really good. I was super happy when it was December 2021. Yeah, just hanging out with like my friend was awesome, and like other good stuff I did. Yeah, just taking walks. And I had a good feeling that 2022 would be good. So now let's talk about 2022. So 2022 was like honestly a pretty good year. It was actually a really good year. I like 2022. Unfortunately and sadly, that's the final good year I had. But let's talk about 2022. So it wasn't as good as 2021 or 2020, but 2022 was still a good year. Yeah, not as perfect as those 2 years, but it was still a really good year. So January was really fun. I love the beginning of 2022. Classes sort of went back to online for a bit. February 2022 was like also a really good month mostly. I think I took classes still online. But yeah, it was pretty chill, pretty laid back. I did attempt to get a job, but I was just focusing on finishing college. March of 2022 was also pretty good. It was like, so yeah, I returned to in-person classes. It was pretty cold. I went to the mall, went to the garden, so that was pretty fun. Let's talk about April. Oh yeah, also March was fun because I don't know, it's just the walks I took were really cool. When I went like on a 2-hour walk, kind of like outside of downtown. That was really fun. And then that same day, I hung out with my friend. April of 2022 was like also pretty good. It was a little bit stressful because I had to focus on finishing my classes. But once I finished my classes, that's it. After that, I only had an option to take classes online. So I don't know why. There was just like a certain class where it's only offered online. May 2022 was amazing. Such a good month. I traveled to the United States. I went to Seattle. Seattle was amazing. And I went to Oregon. June of 2022 was pretty good, but it was a little bit stressful. Just because I had to finish my online class, regarding like psychology. But it was a fun class. It was just stressful because I had to complete so much assignments. But yeah, after that it was finished, and June was really chill. I didn't really do much. I just played video games. July 2022 was like really cool. That was a really good month. I even got to see like a friend who I haven't seen in like many years. So yeah, that was pretty cool seeing him again. And yeah, July was fun. It was full of adventures and just a lot of really fun stuff happened to me. Yeah, I just spent a lot of time with my friend. Let's talk about August of 2022 now. So that was pretty good month. I actually went to North Dakota. So I lived in North Dakota for a bit. Then I went to South Dakota. Then I went to Montana. So I even got to visit Mount Rushmore. So yeah, like the summer was really good of 2022. And then we had some people actually who lived with me for like more than a week. They were like immigrants and they like lived with me for a bit, for like more than a week. And yeah, and my parents are like friends with them. And yeah, so September 2022 was pretty good. I returned back to college again in person. And I don't know, it was kind of like, it was a pretty good month. I still had a lot of fun. October 2022 was pretty good, I guess. I liked how it was like, snowing outside. And and I completely forgot to mention this. 2022 was also the year when I passed my road test, so I had my driver's license officially. So yeah, I got my driver's license, but I still didn't have a car, unfortunately. But yeah, so then let's see. October 2022, I also went to like a real life prison, like a prison tour, because my college, we had a field trip to a real prison, but it kind of sucked that I had to drive all the way there. I didn't, have the option to just take a bus. And I didn't have my own car, but my mom let me borrow her car that one time. But yeah, I don't know. So October 2022 was okay. November 2022, that's when I turned 22 years old. And the month was okay. It was fine. It was pretty good, I guess. Now, December 2022 was like, I don't know, it was kind of a good month, I guess, but it was also kind of bad. Just because I had my finals, and my finals were like really stressful. I had to do my final exam for my forensics class, and I was so anxious. I was really anxious because I was like, this, if I pass this class, then I can graduate college. If I don't pass, and I was just scared, what if I fail? But I ended up passing. So yeah, the remainder of 2022 was okay. It was like I just took walks, saw the Christmas lights outside. It was kind of fun. But December 2022 was like a little bit stressful because I officially left college forever. So now up to this point, I was expected to get a job. And that's when things started to become kind of difficult. But 2022 was still a good year. But yeah, sadly and unfortunately, that was the final good year that I had. But I had this feeling that 2023 would be a good year, but it turned out to be a terrible year. So now let's finally talk about 2023. 2023 was fucking garbage. 2023 was the worst year I've had in my life, or like at least one of the worst years I've had in my life. The year was really, really bad. Really bad. So even January sucked of 2023 because now that I was out of college, I was expected to find a job. So I attempted to get a job by applying to like many stores at the plaza that's like not far from where I live. And I went to like so many places, like 15 places. I handed out my resumes. I didn't get anything. January of 2023 was just such a depressing month. February 2023 was really bad. I did get like a job interview for some snow removal job, and I attended the interview and I got hired, but I had to get up at like 5 a.m. or not even 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. I had to get up that early because they said meet us at the office at like 6 a.m. and it was freezing cold. I even have a video of me going to that job back in early 2023. But yeah, so at 5 a.m. I was walking to the bus stop. It was freezing, it was snowing, it was cold. I had to get on the train. And then I sat in the office for like 4 hours and they never put me to work. So that really pissed me off. February 2023 was garbage. So let's talk about March 2023. March 2023 was complete garbage. Complete fucking garbage. So I had a job interview, like a phone call interview for, this amusement park. I ended up not getting the job. So then March of 2023 was garbage because I actually ended up getting a job as a construction worker. So I was a construction laborer. My dad knew some guy who like helped me get the job. Sorry, I'm cold. I'm gonna put on my blanket. But yeah, so he got me the construction job, and yeah, so I started doing construction and I worked as a laborer. I had to go to another town and work 8-hour shifts. but the job was so difficult. Not just because of the heavy lifting, but just because I'm not good with working with my hands. So that really like made it difficult for me. The worst is that nobody assisted me, even if I just had a question, just a question. Nobody helped me and nobody assisted me. I made a lot of mistakes, and so I got fired from my construction job. So yeah, that's unfortunately what happened in March of 2023. March 2023 was just complete garbage. Um, April 2023 was such a fucking garbage month. It was a really bad month, just because, well, I had to go to a job fair. And the job fair, I was there for like 3 hours. I was in line for a whole hour. So that really sucked. And you guys can also laugh at this, but another reason why 2023 was, or why April was bad, is because this goth girl came up to me and she was kind of like nosy and mean. She was like, because I was talking with my friend, right? And she's like, you guys do realize I can hear everything you're saying, right? Like, none of your business, crazy chick. So that kind of ruined April for me. I know it's kind of stupid, but I don't know. April 2023 also sucked because I had to go to the Youth Employment Center for them to try to help me find a job, but they didn't help me. And then I applied to a couple of other jobs. I did get a job interview at a grocery store in like the end of April of 2023, but then I ended up not even getting the job, so that really sucked. May was actually pretty good. May was actually pretty good, somewhat, but I don't know, it wasn't that good. It's just much better. It was the first month of 2023 that's actually decent for me. May was like, I don't know. I kind of didn't really apply to jobs that month, and I just like kind of chilled. It didn't really do much. I don't know. I also liked how it was starting to become rainy because it was spring. June was garbage. I hated June 2023 because I had to go to another town and apply to like over 30 jobs. And I spent like 4 hours there. It was fucking garbage. Then I had a liquor store job interview. I did not get the job. And then June 2023 was my college graduation, so I had to get a stupid cap and gown to rent for like $40. And I had to go to a bunch of stores and apply after my graduation. Yeah, June was garbage. July 2023 was just like, I got really, really addicted to playing medieval games. I just started playing a bunch of medieval games. July 2023 sucked. I had to go to the mall and apply to like almost every store there was, and I still didn't get an interview, nothing. So yeah, July sucked. I was really depressed. I just played a bunch of medieval games on my phone. August of 2023 was like, I don't know, somewhat decent, I guess, because I went on a trip to the United States. I went to like Oregon. And yeah, I was there for a bit. And then when I got back, I actually started going to the gym. So that was awesome. My first time going to the gym in 3 years. And I officially started going there every week for 2 years, basically. So that was fun. I started like going to the gym. I started going swimming because it comes with a swimming pool. So that was a fun activity for me. September 2023 was just like pretty shitty. Because, well, the good thing, I started volunteering at a homeless shelter, so I started like volunteering, at the homeless shelter, which was pretty fun and interesting for me, and it's a good experience. But then what else happened in September 2023? I mean, I had my own car already, so it became my priority to drive my sister to school every day. Drive her to school and from school. So I had to get up early every day to drive her to school. So that became my responsibility. And I'm sorry, was there anything else that happened in September 2023? I don't really recall much. I don't know. Okay, let's talk about October 2023. October 2023 was fucking garbage. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. September 2023, I had another job interview at Best Buy, but I did not get the job. So October 2023 was like complete fucking garbage. First, my cat died. My other cat died. He went missing and never came back. So that really made me sad. What also sucked about October 2023 is just that, when I was volunteering at the homeless shelter, when I was gonna get on the train, someone pepper sprayed me. Someone fucking pepper sprayed me from their car. That fucking hurts so bad. And yeah, that completely gave me depression. That just really fucked the year over for me. Uh, but yeah, I only volunteered at the homeless shelter for a month and then I stopped volunteering. So November 2023 was a terrible month. On my birthday, so yeah, on my fucking birthday, my 23rd birthday, I got put in the hospital. I got fucking put in the hospital right on my birthday. Like, that's so messed up. If I got put in the hospital before my birthday or after my birthday, that would be at least fine. I mean, sure, it would suck, but it had to be specifically right on my birthday. Right when it hit my birthday at like 12 a.m., I was listening to music, and that rubber part on the earbud, it got stuck in my ear and it started to hurt really, really badly. I was deaf in my ear. I could barely hear anything, so I had to go to the hospital. I spent all night in the hospital. They took it out. My ear was bleeding. I got put on medication, and it was just such a fucking disaster. So you can tell 2023 was a terrible month, and it doesn't even get any better. Okay, fine. December 2023 was a little bit chill because all I did was eat McDonald's and play video games all the time, like medieval games. But then I got COVID on fucking Christmas. So yeah, 2023 was one of the worst years I've ever had in my life. Okay, let's talk about 2024. And yeah, I know I had a lot to talk about because I'm recapping all these years. But soon I'll finally talk about 2025. So let's talk about 2024. January and February were like just neutral for me. They weren't really that good. I had to drive my sister to school. I did watch a lot of TV shows, but March 2023 was just, or I'm sorry, March 2024 was fucking boring. All I did that month was just like stay home, nothing really much. I did go to Montana that month, so that was at least kind of fun. April 2024 was just like, nothing special that month. It was kind of shitty. I had a doctor's appointment that month. I don't know. There were a few decent moments in April, I guess, but nothing too much. May 2024 was just fucking boring, and we had these stupid water restrictions, and I couldn't go swimming at the pool when I would go to the gym. That was fucking garbage for almost a month. It lasted until June. June 2024 was fucking garbage. Just nothing good happened at all that month. I was pretty depressed and just, yeah, going through a bad time. The summer, like July of 2024, was fucking garbage. Fucking garbage. It was such a terrible month. I got in like a pretty big argument with my parents because I couldn't find a job. So I got in a really big argument with them. August of 2024 was fucking garbage. I mean, I did go to the States again, to Montana and Wyoming on that camping trip I had. So that was like kind of fun. But the rest of August was really, really bad. I actually got a job. I started working at a liquor store. And you might say that's a good thing because you're employed. Yeah, it is a good thing. But at the same time, the way everything I had to do there was just so terrible because, like, I was never properly assisted. I was not trained. The boss just he hired me immediately. And I had to start right away the next day for 8 hours. I wasn't properly trained how to be a cashier. Nobody ever helped me. I barely got a lunch break. I did get like pizza a few times from the boss, which is of course nice of him, but other than that, most 8-hour shifts I worked, I never got fed. I wasn't even able to eat lunch. So I was starving for 8 hours. The job was just so demanding. All I had to do was like lift heavy boxes, put alcohol on shelves. And then I only lasted 2 weeks at that job, and then I got bullied there. This one guy was bullying me, and I got scared to go to work because of that. I wanted to like not even go, but I still had to go. But yeah, then I got fired. He told on me. He said I'm working too slow. So I ended up getting fired. I mean, it's nice that I still made money, but it was just like, yeah, just not good. Like how my horrible experience there. And then September 2024 was garbage. I had to go once again to another town to apply to a couple of jobs. So let's talk about October 2024. October 2024 was honestly the best month of the entire year because, well, the shitty thing about October 2024 is I ended up drinking too much alcohol and I threw up, so that was pretty unpleasant for me. But then I had a really amazing experience with a girl in October of 2024 when I was heading back home on the train. It was kind of late. I met this one like indigenous girl and she was like really good looking. She was pretty and she started talking to me first and she like shook my hand and like she asked me if I want to hang out with her. And yeah, and I hung out with her and I kind of find it funny her other friend was there, this white girl, and she like she like smoked with me, which was funny like when we were outside. She like smoked she smoked and then she let me finish it and I smoked the rest, which is funny cuz she doesn't even know me. I kind of find that to be funny, but yeah, so I got on the bus with those girls and the white girl, she had to go home, so she just went home. But the other girl, the indigenous girl, she was like really into me, so she started like she even touched my hair on the bus, and then she like started holding my hand as I was going to her house, and then she started making out with me. She was kissing me, and then yeah, then I hooked up with her. So it was actually my first time having sex, actually, like a year ago, October of 2024. And yeah, and it was extremely romantic and super intimate, and it was just such an amazing experience. And and it hurts because now it's been a year since I saw that girl. I haven't seen her in a year. I really wish I got her number, but it was so late. I had to go home. But then again, it's like I often think about it like, do I really want to be with her because I didn't get to know her too well, and it's like what if she's like what if there's red flags about her, or what if she's like if I got to know her, what if she's like a toxic person, or what if she's like a bad person, or I don't know. And then again, it's like I don't know what she thinks about me to this day, given that I haven't seen her in a year. Maybe she still likes me and thinks about me. Maybe she doesn't like me at all. I don't know. I don't know. I'll never know. But yeah, but even though that same night I knew that I'm probably never gonna see her again, I that did not make me sad. I was extremely happy just because of that amazing intimate encounter I had. So because of that, I felt really really happy, and I didn't think about the fact that I'm not gonna see her again. But once a year passed since I saw her, that really started to hurt me. And I'll talk about that when I talk about 2025. I'll bring her up again. So then November 2024 was like, it was alright. At least I didn't get put in the hospital this time on my birthday. I got vaccinated that month, and yeah, nothing too much really happened that month. I don't know. December 2024 was kind of shitty. I don't know. It's just not too good of a month. Just boring and a bit depressing at times. And yeah, and I forgot to say in 2024, I also started driving another kid to school. This one kid who my mom like knows this woman and she has a son, and she paid me money for me to drive him to school. So it became my responsibility to drive him to school along with my sister. All right, now finally let's talk about 2025. Um, and yeah, so finally now we're talking about this current year, 2025, and what I think about this year. 2025 was just garbage this year. I know this year is not over yet, but it's almost over. This year is just fucking garbage. January, February 2025 was just nothing special. I just drove the kids to school. March 2025 was complete fucking garbage. I had to go to another stupid ass job fair in a massive lineup, and it was just horrible. April 2025 was, it was okay. It wasn't good though. It was just fine. May 2025 was actually, honestly, a pretty good month, I guess, just because, I don't know, May and July this year were the only two good months of this year. May was just like, I don't know, I got to visit my old school, so that was kind of cool. And I also went to that Russian store and I got really good food from there. But yeah, May was like pretty good, I guess. June was, no, June was fucking garbage. I hated June. I sort of had a little bit of conflict again with my parents that I'm not making enough money and all that bullshit. So June was garbage. Yeah, July 2025 was pretty good, mainly because I loved how we had a pretty rainy summer. I took some nice walks in the rain, and then on top of that, I like that Latin festival I went to. That was pretty fun. August 2025 was just fucking garbage. I actually ended up working for Instacart. I started doing Instacart in August, and I started to make money, but I barely made any money, so that really sucked. So yeah, August was garbage, and I felt pretty depressed. September 2025, just like 2 months ago, was complete fucking garbage. Um, I had to go to the Youth Employment Center again, and just nothing good happened at all. I was really depressed that month, and just, yeah, nothing good happened at all. October 2025, so just a month ago, was also fucking garbage, but I will say one good thing. I started working for Uber Eats, and that's currently what I do now. I've been working for Uber Eats for the past month, and honestly, I make not necessarily a lot of money, but I do make a decent amount of money. I'm able to pay for my car insurance, my gas. So yeah, so at least that's good. At least I'm making deliveries. That's basically my job right now. I know it's not necessarily a good paying job, but it is better than nothing at least. I can still make money now. And yeah, so I'm a delivery driver. But October still sucked because I got a report on Uber Eats because for not having a delivery bag, the lady was really rude. And yeah, so November 2025, or let's talk about October as well. Yeah, I forgot to mention about the girl now. So yeah, October was depressing because it's been a year since I saw that girl, and it sucks I never got her number because, finding her again would be like extremely challenging. Like, it's just everything is just unknown. I just don't know how to like contact her, and that really sucks. Even though I know where she lives, it's just like I can't keep in contact with her. I don't know if she likes me anymore. Maybe she doesn't care about me at all. But then again, I question myself too. It's like, do I really want to be with her because I didn't fully get to know her as a person? What if she's trouble? What if she's like, because you don't know her backstory, maybe there's some really bad things about her. What if she's like not a kind person at all? She's very mean. Or what if she like knows bad people or dangerous people? I'm not saying she does. I'm just saying hypothetically, right? But yeah, so I don't know. It's just kind of, I have that sense of loneliness. Like, I miss that girl, even though it was just a hookup, like a one-time thing. Just how intimate it was, it made me really miss her. And yeah, it's been a year since I saw her. I have no idea what's happening in her life. And yeah, so I don't know what else to really say. I mean, I still have that sense of hope that what if I somehow see her again? What if I don't know, we find each other on social media? But I don't know, or maybe I'll never see her again, but I don't know. So that kind of made me depressed. Again, that same night I saw her, I already knew that I'm probably never gonna see her again, but I wasn't depressed. I was just so happy thinking about, like, the good things that happened between me and her, the intimacy and the love. But it's like, once a year passed, that's when it really started to hurt me severely. I started to really miss her. And my depression was really severe, but it's like, it's gotten better though. I'm not as depressed, but I'm still depressed. Like, I'm not 100% fine or over her. If I think about her, I start to get pretty sad and depressed. And I'm still depressed. I'm still pretty depressed thinking about her. I'm not like super depressed how I was, but I've gotten slightly better. But I don't know. I just like have that sense of hope. What if I see her again? But I don't know. Maybe she doesn't even care about me anymore. Maybe she has a boyfriend. I don't know. But yeah. So that brings us to November, the current month. I will say one amazing thing this month. I'm going to Hawaii on vacation, and I'm actually going in a week, exactly 1 week from today. I'm going there, so yeah. So I'm going to Hawaii in like a week from now. So maybe that'll make the year kind of better for me. December, which is next month, the final month of the year. We don't know what it's gonna be like, but I hope it'll be okay. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I know this video is extremely long, 47 minutes. But yeah, so this was my video talking about, well, recapping the 2020s and this current year. And yeah, 2025 just really wasn't that good. It was a pretty bad year. 2024 was also a really bad year. I don't know what year is worse, 2024 or 2025, because I used to think 2025 is a bit better than last year. But at the same time, I sort of feel like they're either equally as bad, or maybe even 2025 is worse than last year. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I know for a fact like 2023 was really bad. But it sucks. Like, how come 2020 was such an amazing year? 2021 was an amazing year. 2022 was a pretty good year. But then how come 2023 had to be a terrible year? 2024 had to be a bad year. 2025 had to be a bad year. So to be honest, I feel a bit hopeless. I feel like maybe 2026 will be just as bad, maybe worse. Maybe it'll be a terrible year. But least I can do is maybe hope that it'll be better. But yeah, so that's all I had to say. So thanks for watching, guys. I know this video is super long, but that's all I had to cover. So take care, have a good one, and yeah, bye.